Book 4, Chapter 10 of the late Mr. Jonathan Wild the Great. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Dennis Sayers. The late Mr. Jonathan Wild the Great, by Henry Fielding. Book 4, Chapter 10. A horrible uproar in the gate. But however great an idea the reader may hence conceive of this uproar, he will think the occasion more than adequate to it when he is informed that our hero, I blush to name it, had discovered an injury done to his honour, and that in the tenderest point. In a word, reader, for thou must know it, though it give thee the greatest horror imaginable, he had caught Fireblood in the arms of his lovely Laetitia. As the generous bull, who, having long depastured among a number of cows, and thence contracted an opinion that these cows are all his own property, if he beholds another bull bestride a cow within his walks, he roars aloud, and threatens instant vengeance with his horns, till the whole parish are alarmed with his bellowing. Not with less noise, nor less dreadful menaces, did the fury of Wild burst forth and terrify the whole gate. Long time did rage render his voice inarticulate to the hearer, as when, at a visiting day, 15 or 16, or perhaps twice as many females, of delicate but shrill pipes, ejaculate all at once on different subjects. All is sound only, the harmony entirely melodious indeed, but conveys no idea to our ears. But at length, when reason began to get the better of his passion, which latter, being deserted by his breath, began a little to retreat, the following accents leapt over the hedge of his teeth, or rather the ditch of his gums, whence those hedge stakes had long since by a batten been displaced in battle with an Amazon of Drury. [Footnote: The beginning of this speech is lost. Man of honour! Doth this become a friend? Could I have expected such a breach of all the laws of honour from thee, whom I had taught to walk in its paths? Hadst thou not any other way to injure my confidence, I could have forgiven it, but this is a stab in the tenderest part, a wound never to be healed, an injury never to be repaired, for it is not only the loss of an agreeable companion, of the affection of a wife dearer to my soul than life itself. It is not this loss alone I lament. This loss is accompanied with disgrace and with dishonour. The blood of the Wilds, which hath run with such uninterrupted purity through so many generations, this blood is fouled, is contaminated. Hence flow my tears, hence arises my grief. This is the injury never to be redressed, nor even to be with honour forgiven. In in a bandbox, answered Fireblood. Here is a noise about your honour. If the mischief done to your blood be all you complain of, I am sure you complain of nothing, for my blood is as good as yours. You have no conception, replied Wild, of the tenderness of honour. You know not how nice and delicate it is in both sexes, so delicate that the least breath of air which rudely blows on it destroys it. I will prove from your own words, says Fireblood. I have not wronged your honour. Have you not often told me that the honour of a man consisted in receiving no affront from his own sex and that of woman in receiving no kindness from ours. Now, sir, if I have given you no affront, how have I injured your honour?" "But doth not everything," cried Wild, "of the wife belong to the husband? A married man hath his wife's honour as well as his own, and by injuring hers you injure his. How cruelly you have hurt me in this tender part I need not repeat. The whole gate knows it, and the world shall. I will apply to Doctors' Commons for my redress against her. I will shake off as much of my dishonour as I can by parting with her, and as for you, expect to hear of me in Westminster Hall. The modern method of repairing these breaches and of resenting this affront." "D n your eyes," cries Fireblood, "I fear you not, nor do I believe a word you say." "Nay, if you affront me personally," says Wild, "another sort of resentment is prescribed." At which word, advancing to Fireblood, he presented him with a box on the ear, which the youth immediately returned. And now our hero and his friend fell to boxing, though with some difficulty, both being encumbered with the chains which they wore between their legs. A few blows passed on both sides before the gentleman who stood by stepped in and parted the combatants. And now both parties having whispered each other that, if they outlived the ensuing sessions and escaped the tree, one should give and the other should receive satisfaction in single combat, they separated, and the gate soon recovered its former tranquillity. Mrs. Heartfree was then desired by the justice and her husband both to conclude her story, which she did in the words of the next chapter. End of Book 4, Chapter 10. Read by Dennis Sayers in Modesto, California for LibriVox.